We're not opening again. We're not opening again with a burp.
We just burp so much.
Yeah.
We gotta start taking care of ourselves.
All right. How do you want to open this? Should we just general?
I'd like to do some future noises personally.
What are future noises?
You know, like, I don't know, noises from the future, like wow, 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 wow. You know, like.
Is that what the future sounds like?
That's what I think the future sounds like. You know what the future sounds like? The Jonas Brothers song, Year 3000.
I'm not going to sing it. I was about to.
You know it? You know it.
I know it.
Everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
Not much has changed, but we live underwater.
Was that a comment on global warming?
It might have been. It might have been an early take on global warming by the motherfucking Jonas Brothers.
And what did they mean by, and your great-great-great-granddaughter?
She's doing fine.
What?
Don't read into that one. Just know your
Okay.
lineage is safe. The Jonas Brothers time traveled to make sure that your seed kept reproducing. And they said, don't worry. She's fine. Nobody's fucked up yet. You're going good. Everybody's underwater, but your kids are fine.
I just don't like the way they said fine.
Doing fine.
The implication, and like they even like say it again, like don't worry, she's doing fine.
She's just like really fucking hot. They time traveled to objectify your kid. Horny time travelers. Hot Tub Time Machine 4, starring the Jonas Brothers.
Well, first there has to be a third one.
Oh, no.
We never saw the second one, did we?
I feel like we did. I feel like that's one that we were definitely like, oh yeah, we're mega stoned.
We're gonna be gone for that one.
I think I actually left for Hot Tub Time Machine too, if we did watch it. I remember the first one though. That was fun.
First one's really good.
Really fun.
Yeah.
As stupid as I remember those trailers being, watching it, very, very, very tickled. I had a good time.
Yeah, they're not like masterpieces, but they had no right being that good. There's a lot of heart into it.
Oh my god, that's a great segue into today's hot topic.
Hot tubs?
Yeah, no.
Time machines?
Time machines.
Oh, cool.
I wish I had a time machine. No, time machines take you into the future because that's what we're talking about today, the motherfucking future.
Can I open up with a story about a time machine?
You can absolutely open up with a story about a time machine.
Years ago, I had finished a project in like 8th grade. That's when this was. So I was in 8th grade.
Going to the past for the future.
I had finished a project, and in the project, I had to make a website. And I kind of learned through like webs.com or .webs, whatever it's called, how to quickly just generate a really quick website. So one time my cousin and I were on the phone, and I'm just doing homework or something, and so was he, and I'm just like munching on some popcorn. And I casually mentioned, just bullshitting, obviously, starting conversation. I was like, I invented popcorn.
Oh.
Yeah, and he goes, oh, sure, of course you did, Andy. I was like, no kidding. Like, me and my buddy Orville, like, back in the day, we time traveled, and, we invented popcorn.
Duh.
And I came up with this whole, like, elaborate story, and I had the same tone. Yeah, I was just like, duh, you don't know this? You haven't heard this story before? Yeah. So he kind of just, like, brushes it off like it's nothing. And I decide, while the phone call is still going, I'm going to make a fucking website about the history of popcorn.
To gaslight
My
buddy.
cousin, yes.
Oh my god, perfect.
So I make, I think it was called originsofpopcorn.webs.com. I will look afterwards and see if that site is still up, but I doubt it is.
Everybody go to originsofpopcorn.web.org.
.webs.com.
.webs.com.
Everybody go check it out. I doubt it's still up. Anyway, we're talking for another like 20, 30 minutes or something, and he thinks I'm doing my homework. He has no idea I'm making a little website about, popcorn and the history of it, including the bullshit story that I just told him. And in it, I get pictures of like really rinky-dink time machines and like old-timey, ways they'd make popcorn and manufacture it. And I put like red X's over them, like, no, this is too much. We need to fix this.
How much of this information on this website was truth versus whatever you injected?
There's a good 10%, mostly just like dates of like when Orville Redenbacher was a child.
Because you didn't want to seem too ridiculous.
Right. And I'm trying to remember, the whole thing was like, me and my buddy Orville time traveled in like the 3rd or 4th grade or something. And we ended up in like a cornfield, and the radiation from the time machine popped it or something. And we were like, we know how to do this. So he went on and stayed in the past and have this big popcorn dynasty, while I went off into the future to be Andy.
Wasn't there popcorn at like the original Thanksgiving, though? Like, hadn't it been a thing for, like, ever?
Everything I feel like I know about the quote-unquote original Thanksgiving, I feel like is propaganda and bullshit.
Period. True.
I don't know. Was there even actually a dinner?
Were there even people there?
Yeah.
Was it aliens?
Did they say, oh, I'm thankful for this and that? Like, I don't know.
They faked the original Thanksgiving dinner.
Thanksgiving's a lie.
Thanksgiving isn't even real. True. It just depends on how much you trust your public school system, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Anywho, so my cousin and I are still talking. I'm just about done with the website, so I publish it. And I say to him something like, oh, I'm done with my popcorn. I gotta go make some more. Mm-hmm. And I throw in like a little like, I can't believe you didn't know about the whole popcorn thing. And he goes, Andy, are you still on that thing? It was a joke. I'm like, Ryan, it's fucking real. It's true. Like, fucking look it up. He goes, what do I look up? I'm like, look up, I don't know, origins of popcorn. Originsofpopcorn.webs.com. And he's like, okay. And he looks it up and I just hear silence over the phone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Ryan, did you find anything? And he goes, Andy, what is this? I'm like, it's the truth. He goes, no, what the fuck is this, Andy? I'm like, nothing. It's the truth. How'd you not know this? I thought like I must have told you a million times. So as he's scrolling, I can just hear him reading along and just the bewilderment in his voice and the awe and the confusion and everything. He's like, Andy, what is this? When did you do this? What? I'm like telling him like, dude, this is history. I didn't write this shit. Eventually he scrolls down to the bottom of the page, and because it was my account, it does say published by Andrew Shakta.
You got bro.
But there was a time where for 1 minute in this universe, he was petrified and he thought, did my cousin fucking make popcorn and time travel?
Heavily fucked with his worldview casually. You love doing that.
Not quite. I don't do it for too long.
Do you remember when you tried to convince me that your birthday was not your birthday?
But to be fair, you make it sound like it was months or years or something. It was like literally 30 seconds.
I had a mental breakdown for those 30 seconds, bro. I was unwell and you rejoice in it.
I don't rejoice in it. You bring it up more than I do. But it's not because I did it to gaslight you. It's because I'm not really open about when my birthday is. Mm-hmm. And we had, just started hanging out. I was like, I don't know if I want this girl to like... No.
In case I'm the feds.
Never trust a bitch. I don't know.
Never trust a bitch. No. Uh-oh. Mm-mm. Daphne, what you doing?
Daphne's not here.
Daphne's not here. Good for her.
Just
she could not be hearing this bitch slander.
Bitches.
Bitches, man. Look at you. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
I do say bitch too much, though.
Bitch? I mean, like, I feel like...
It's never offensive.
There's
it's just
worse words, for sure.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a part of my vernacular.
Andy, bitch, bleep. Won't include your last name. I retroactively censored myself.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
it. Nobody needs to know.
It's almost like you're from the future.
I am from the future.
What do you think the future is going to be like?
Hopefully not underwater, but that's my personal hope. We never know for sure. Knowing the way things are going right now. Ooh, cheery. Let's start it off with a nice, happy little thought train. I know. Personally, can I like idealize the future?
Of course.
Okay. I think if I had to pick any future, if I could just pick and choose what I wanted, I think I might incorporate some underwater vibes, but like it would be like cool Atlantis and like just it's not because the world is in danger. We just like it underwater. We're just having fun.
It didn't sink. You built underwater.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think I'd also like robots, but not too many robots, and no one's allowed to be mean to the robots because that's tough. That would really suck. That would break my heart. I think I would love it. Oh my gosh. If teleportation existed, because traffic is crazy.
Okay.
Would love to instantly go to wherever I'm trying to go to. That would be fantastic. And yeah, I think that's about it.
In your world, tell me more about like what is the future of like cars for you, or like just everyday technology?
Well, I guess cars would be obsolete because the teleportation transportation, that's the word. Transportation system would be so elite that you could just blank go to, it's like the subway but faster, and it's just you and maybe your particles get scrambled, but it's not that big of a deal.
Okay. I see that.
But other than that, I don't know. It's interesting to conceptualize like what are things gonna look like? What's the fashion gonna be? I'm lobbying for chrome. Everything chrome.
You're very this is the future.
Future.
Chrome. Yeah.
Future. You know, I align myself with Squidward's vision and Mad Max's vision, in a sense. I
Okay.
enjoy some sparkle. I enjoy a little bit of chrome. How about you, Andy? What are you feeling for your vibes, for your future? What's the energy?
I feel like what I think the future is going to be like and what it, will be are very, very different things, obviously.
Okay, so one's going to be fun and one's going to be sad, huh?
Well, no, I mean, there's always going to be good and bad in the world. That's just a reality, you
True.
know? And whether things are cyberpunk, there's still good shit going on in that world, you know?
Uh-huh, that's true.
But I would hope in the future things are a lot more either electric or we have teleportation or something.
Yo.
I hope in the future, like, there are some worries that I have of like what is music gonna sound like? Are people gonna be like over the experience of even listening to music? Like, what is that?
Maybe.
Do people even watch movies the same way? Do we download it in 1 second? Like, things like that worry me. My vision for like a society is just like people aren't working as much. People aren't always just like on the go somewhere. It's just more laid back. People have like robots doing work for them, not like servants or like doing jobs, but things are just more automated in general. Life is a lot easier, more laid back. I want the best for that kind of future, you know?
I got it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know.
What if? What if?
If I can throw in one more thing.
Go off.
I hope
Hell yeah.
cars are like all electric or all environmentally friendly and self-driving.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think the future should be a lot more sustainable on the environment. I mean, we can only hope, but hopefully someone will figure out some beautiful, beautiful alternative to like crude oil and I don't know, gas maybe, which is still just crude oil, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Shows how much I know about the earth and the environment.
What
but,
is petrol and what is gas?
it's
What is
just,
oil?
What's a liter? Who's Steve Jobs?
Like my balls.
Like my balls. Yeah, no, I think we will hopefully have less of an impact on our environment in the future. I don't know.
Okay.
We can hope. I think that the metaverse will be the future.
Oh my god. Dude, do you remember like what was it? PlayStation Home?
No.
It's from like 2008 or 9. It was like for the PS3 or something. It was pretty much like you just design your avatar and walk around like an online mall or a little online city, and it came with the PlayStation. And you can just decorate your home however it is. My vision of that, like the few times I played that with like friends or something, that's what I pictured the metaverse to be. Somehow in 2022, the metaverse is a dumber version of it, and it's failing in every way.
I still don't understand the metaverse. Like, is it like VR chat or not?
It's like VR chat, but you have like you can own things. You can like load into your own home or your own like art studio, but it's virtual. Like you think it's picture VR chat, but you like it's more personal.
Okay, like VR chat mixed with Club Penguin.
I guess so.
Work.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I think it's a crock. I think it's just like, them trying to just skirt other situations going on. Like they think about it. Facebook changed their name to Meta like that. And now Facebook isn't responsible for all the damages in the world anymore because Facebook doesn't exist.
Facebook
oh my god.
isn't real.
We're Meta. We do
crack.
Yeah, we do crack. We do virtual crack all the fucking time.
I don't know. This marketing campaign has gone down the toilet the second they aired that ad with Mark Zuckerberg's corny ass.
Yeah.
That was iconic, though. I can't. Honestly, though, be real with me. If you wake up in the morning and you have a choice between putting on Andy skin or putting on like some crazy like anime big titty bitch outfit, like, come on, which one are you picking?
Here's the thing. I still haven't bought a VR headset. So it's not like I crave that or desire that. And that's the whole issue I have with the metaverse. I don't think VR is big enough yet. And I blame Facebook actually for that from years ago. I'm going to do a little shout out.
Okay.
So I have a contract laminated and hanging on our wall.
It is written on notebook paper, but it is very official.
Well, we were pretty high when we came up with it. But my friend Darby and I, love you, Darby, we were like just watching a movie or something. We were talking about the future of VR and stuff like that. And she believes that within 10 years, most homes in America will have some form of a VR headset. And I was saying, I don't think so. And I believe my concern is because at the time, Facebook just bought Oculus.
Do you know what around time this was for context?
Maybe 5 years ago or so.
Okay.
Yeah, we were probably, about 5 years. And around this time, Facebook bought Oculus, which was the the forerunner for like this is the next big thing in VR gaming, and
it's still
online.
kind of the go-to. Like when people think of VR, they think of Oculus. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, and that's because Facebook bought it and kind of just filtered out what you can and can't do. So all of a sudden they got rid of porn and certain ways to browse the web. Now you have to see ads on the side of your headset all the time if you're just browsing the internet. Things like that. Yeah.
How dystopian. How movie pass of them.
It's very Facebook of them, so it's not off-brand. And it's because of like these weird decisions they were making. I kind of saw, they increased the price of the Oculus, and most game developers were saying they're not getting full support. And I saw the death of VR like kind of slowly happening. So when I took this bet, I told her I don't think VR will be a big thing in homes for entertainment. I think in 10 years, I feel like it'll be used for more like remote work or even surgeries in order to perfect like making a tiny robot with a blade move a little way with a human touch performing surgery or something. I don't know what it could be, but I don't think 1/3 of homes in America will have a VR headset.
I mean, at least based on like what I can see now, there's definitely like a large chunk of people with VR shit in their homes, but like nobody I know, none of my friends, none of my friends' friends, like it seems to be like come to this VR experience in this warehouse in Los Angeles, and everybody's like, it's kind of fun, let's do that. But it's not like, oh my god, I can't wait to wake up and log into my Oculus and play my non-pornographic, perfectly good Christian games in my home.
Well, my only issue with them banning porn wasn't necessarily, as a fan of porn, because I don't really watch a lot of porn typically.
It's the principle.
Yeah, it's not just that. I had a friend who works in tech once tell me porn really sets a lot of trends for the future, whether it be, now streaming or downloading is a big thing, or now live cams, OnlyFans, things like that are kind of just like trend setting for what's next, because you see where the money is online. And at the time, maybe that's true, maybe it's not, but at the time I really, really thought there's some truth to it. So hearing Facebook just be like, no, we're dismissing a lot of porn on VR. We're not allowing it.
The death.
Yeah, it was the death of a lot of just industry, backing for the VR.
You've lost a large amount of eyeballs immediately.
Yeah, and it was because of that we made the contract, we made the deal being in 10 years, homes would have VR headsets or not, and the loser has to clean the other person's home with a French-made outfit on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What if you're right, though? I don't want Darby to come to our house and clean for us. I would rather die. Oh my god, that horrible gurgle. Did you catch that? The devil crawled out. I'm sorry.
I'll cut that out, don't worry.
No, fuck it. Keep it in. The people need to know what my little burps sound like. There's been a burp every single episode, I think so.
Let's not keep that up. Let's
Look
not
at
let
us.
that be a tradition.
Keep an eye out for the hidden burp in every single podcast episode, y'all. If you can find it, we will send you some small piece of garbage from our house. But cute garbage, not bad garbage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a deal, right? It's fun.
I'm not agreeing to this.
It'll be fun garbage. It'll be fun. But I think if I had to place midway bets on your contract, I think you might be in the right trajectory.
It's one of those few times where I'm actually happy to say, damn.
I was right.
Okay, I was right. Told you so, bitch. Not you, Darby. You're not a bitch. I love you. I miss you. Let's hang out. Hope you're doing well.
Hey.
Anywho, so I wanted to go back to our topic of future. And I have a question for you.
Lay it on me.
It's kind of a two-parter.
Oh, God.
You get to live in the future of some fictional world. Movie, comic, TV show, video game, anything. What world do you live in?
Oh my God. That is a good question. The future. Okay, so let me clarify so I can make a good decision. Is it any cinematic television creative universe that I want, but the future of that? Or is it a universe that is set in the future?
It's already set in the future.
Copy.
Yeah, that's
Copy
a better way
that.
to say it.
I would pick. That is a really good one. I'm gonna have to noodle on that. I think if I was going for like pure cushiness and low stress, I would probably pick Chowder. Does it have to be a real universe?
I mean, I would say it has to be a portrayal of our universe or our world.
Damn, our universe and our world. Dang. Okay, I would probably. No, Red Dwarf is kind of sad. Shout out to everybody who knows what the fuck Red Dwarf is. You guys are hot.
Fun show.
It's a fun
We
show.
saw a couple episodes.
I love that
Yeah,
show.
that was a good show.
Deeply, deeply, deeply hold that one close to my heart. I think I would honestly have to pick. Can it be animated? Please let me tell.
Yeah,
Okay.
as long as it is Earth, it could be animated.
Is the Jetsons on Earth?
Yes.
I think I would pick that then, definitely.
Okay.
Only because, like, for me, I just go absolutely feral for, like, 60s, 70s, mid-century modern. Like, what
Okay.
people back then thought the future would be like. Side note, though, do not get it twisted. I think mid-century modern furniture and home decor is bullshit, and it is uncomfortable. Why would your vision of the future be so empty and blank and stainable and not cushy? That is just a personal beef, though. But the aesthetic overall, incredible. I think I would definitely pick that one. How about you, mister?
I kind of noodled on that one for a little bit, and I think the answer I came up with is if I could live in any future from a movie or something, I'd probably live in the world of the movie Her, the Spike Jonze one.
Yes, that one was fucking adorable.
Really comfy kind of world.
Definitely.
Yeah, the colors, everything was aesthetic. There's a train to Catalina. Like, come on.
There's a train to Catalina.
That's amazing.
He said, girl, I'm in it. No, I love that. That's fucking fun. I think that one would be good. But honestly, knowing my ass, I would be susceptible to falling in love with all sorts of AI, and I could not do it. That emotional pressure is too much for me.
Well, I think the worst part isn't that he fell in love with the AI. You know, it's love. It's what it is.
Yeah.
That bitch broke up with him.
I know. I can't take that. Like, people, I think I've, for the most part, I can't say mastered, but I've come a long way with people. Talking and communicating and dealing with computers and their feelings, I am out of my depth. I don't know what's going on.
But it was so human-like in the movie.
Yeah.
There really was a person there, and it's wild to me that is probably going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could emotionally take hurting a computer's feelings for the first time. I think I would just combust.
I mean, even I nowadays, like, I feel bad when I call Siri a bitch or dumb idiot sometimes. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. And it goes, it's okay, Andy. I'm like,
You don't have to forgive me. I would be mad if I were you.
yeah.
You need to tell me if I'm not acting correctly.
I don't need to apologize. I need to be better, Siri.
My feelings are too big for an AI future.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But the styling of that whole shtick was very gorgeous. It was very, very gorgeous.
Super high-waisted pants on men.
Love.
Yeah.
I love high-waisted. I want high-waisted to come back, even though it's only just leaving. Please come back high-waisted. Please. I'm begging you, fashion people.
So on the flip side of that question, which world would you not want to live in?
Now that is a good one. I think, well, I don't know. In a certain sense, I would say Mad Max, but also I think that would be a very exciting universe to live in.
Just go to Australia.
Yeah. Just the middle of nowhere in the outback in Australia.
Pretty much.
It is Mad Max.
Yeah.
It's just nobody's found out yet.
Exactly.
It's a little stable, containable community of people that has not had contact with the outside world.
Leave him like that.
Do you think there are still like situations like that? Because I know there's like islands everywhere with people.
I believe there's a couple that are known, and it's like agreed upon that we don't touch them or interact with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's like actual like any cannibalistic tribes that we're just like, hey, we're gonna let them do their thing and the rest of the world will develop. But I know there's some where we have all like universally agreed. Let them do their thing.
Don't mess.
Yeah. I feel like they'd have actual culture shock. Their brains would explode.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, just if they don't want a part of it, they shouldn't have to be a part of it.
Right.
You should be able to opt out. I think that's fair. But I'm also intrigued, like, what's the future going to look like for those kinds of communities?
Probably just traditions, stick to the same thing.
Yeah.
If it's been this long and they're still in that stage, I don't think their culture's about development or change.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? But sorry to completely take a wander down a path. What universe would you not be down for?
Oh, God. It's funny. I asked that question to you, and I did not know an answer. I think just off the top of my head, just the sci-fi that I've seen, I wouldn't want to be in like a Ridley Scott movie, Alien or Blade Runner.
Oh, horrible.
That's just too dark and gruesome, too boring, too violent.
And you probably would die.
very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But maybe Akira might be the worst one.
Okay.
Neo Tokyo looks awful.
Yeah, that one seemed like not a lot of good things were happening at all for anybody.
Actually, I think that might have been in the past.
Oh, the future past.
I don't know if that movie's in like some alternate 80s or in the future.
It was giving very much 80s.
Okay.
I don't know. Another one I would like to add is the Black Mirror universe. I'm terrified of all of you.
All of them.
I can't hack it here.
Yeah.
I'm stressed. There's too much tech. But I did really love watching that show while it was still on and poppin'. Are they like greenlit for more shows, do you think?
I think it's like Netflix's like baby right now. They've been doing a bunch of seasons, but to me, that's when it lost quality.
The last one that they put out was Bandersnatch, right?
Yeah.
That's been years.
That's been years, and it wasn't even that good. I'm just gonna say it.
Shout out those first, like, you know what? I'll give season 1 through 3. Tip of my hat. God bless you. Good work.
Yeah, I think the first few seasons were really good, but if I had one flaw with the show, the first episode.
Yeah, dude. Season 1, episode 1.
Season 1, episode 1 is, it's not sci-fi.
No.
It's not science horror. It just really is a what if situation that's really disgusting and grounded. Whereas the rest of the show is more of like a reflection on our relationship with technology and ourselves in the future.
Things to look out for.
Yeah, and then there's that one, and I think there's another episode where some kid gets hacked or people have blackmail over him.
Yeah.
And just making him do these crazy things.
Dude, that one legitimately fucked me up. That was crazy.
What fucked me up about it was the troll face reveal at the end. Because it brought us back to reality. That was an image that I was aware of, that I've seen used in fucked up comments or in fucked up references. And just seeing that, you know, reminded me this shit is happening, kind of.
Speaking of that episode of Black Mirror, the part I think that had me fucking shook was when they were like, yeah, no, he's a child predator.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, we got a dick pic, or we have, you know, your password to your credit card.
This man's a predator.
You are a predator. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, like these extremes are simply too much to handle, but also, girl.
Yeah, and just that feeling of like in your brain and your heart of like, this is my hero. Your brain is psychologically going to root for the person you're following, and you see him going through these things, and you think he's just an innocent young lad.
Yeah.
And then you find out you've been rooting for the wrong person. Maybe he deserves this shit.
Maybe.
Because a part of me is like, hey, if you're doing this, you should be exposed. But I don't know. Maybe it's a bit too far.
But yeah, I couldn't hack it in the Black Mirror universe. Point blank, period. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. What do you think the future of like memes will be like?
I think it will just continue evolving, and I will keep doing my absolute best to keep up with it. But the half-life on a meme nowadays is like 5 minutes.
It depends. A good meme kind of stays and like leaves its landmark.
Oh yeah.
You know, I feel like at this point there's a meme, a well-known meme or reference for just about any situation.
Literally.
And that's why we're kind of just seeing like, no, now this is the same idea recontextualized or new image of it. But at the time it really was just discovering a picture for an emotion.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they went through a weird time. Remember like deep fried memes started becoming a thing.
I loved deep fried memes.
Or even just like really bad photoshops of someone's face over Lord Farquaad, which is like the letter G, and everyone goes, this is the shit. This is the funniest meme I've ever seen. Just sending it to everybody. They're like, damn, that's good.
I have love and appreciation for the memes of before, and I am enjoying and appreciating the memes of now, even though they appear and then disappear, because they are different iterations of something that's been around forever.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. But yeah, I think the future of memes, it's just going to continue to get so niche that it won't be accessible anymore, and it'll just kind of turn into like its own split off little subculture things.
I feel like we're already kind of seeing that.
Yeah.
I feel like every online community I'm a part of does have their own version of a well-known meme.
Hyper niche memes.
Yeah. There's Lord of the Rings memes that are super fucking niche, but also you could use them in a normal sense.
And it would make sense to somebody who didn't know it, but it would make even more sense to people inside the community.
Yeah, there's another layer to it, just because it might be a certain character or during a certain scene.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just gonna kind of trickle down And like we're seeing now, memes are going to start off as like, oh my gosh, isn't this funny? And it'll just work its way into regular conversation in people's languages. Like, it's like slang. It's like its own little slang with pictures involved, and it's a joke.
Yeah.
I like it, though.
Yeah. No, the internet's going to be really weird in the future.
It's going to be crazy. What are your predictions?
I feel like the internet's either going to try its best to go back to, we've talked about this, a more retro state, a more anonymous state.
Unregulated type beat.
Yeah, because like even nowadays, like pirating something kind of is the best way to get it when it's non-achievable on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can't find it anywhere else, you could just pirate it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that whole mentality is gone, but it's coming back hard because of all these new restrictions on just downloads or even streaming. Streaming has blocked the ability to watch so many movies because you have to have it on a platform that you may or may not have.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of just, I don't know. I was thinking about this last night. It's like the early days of cable, just different.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Really, yeah, very much so.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, and I feel like because streaming is getting bigger for movies and TV shows, we're now seeing pirating is going up for certain shows, for example, that are specifically only on like HBO or something.
Me when I didn't have HBO.
Yeah.
TBH.
But it's fascinating because music piracy has gone down significantly. Yeah. And I think the reason why is because we have essentially there's only two mainstream ways to get your music. Apple Music, Spotify.
Or Bandcamp if you are a couple of our very good friends. We love you. We love you, music people.
But, you know, the whole thing being they're essentially the same service, though.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of songs that are available on Apple that are not on Spotify and vice versa.
Yeah.
There is just about 99% overlap. You only need one of those services to achieve pretty much what everyone else has.
Yeah.
But with streaming for television and movies, you might not have the ability to get it just because you're not paying for the right service.
Yeah.
And I feel like that leads to more, you know, contingent piracy. If you're aware, like there's no way I will get this unless I pay $20 a month for HBO.
And I'm simply not going to do that if you are most people.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But in that same sense, I kind of think the I don't know, the empire of streaming that is happening right now is kind of like, in a sense, because streaming is so a la carte, you can simply just say like, oh, I want Hulu. I watch a lot of Hulu. Or, oh, I like the shows they have on Netflix. I will get Netflix. And so you find yourself like with this 1, 2, maybe 3 brands of television and movies that you can access. They kind of dictate what you watch.
Yeah.
Because unless you're willing to go out of your way to pirate something because it's like a huge cultural phenomenon and you want to make sure you watch it, or like a live television event that is happening, the Super Bowl, you're kind of just going to stick to what you have streaming wise. So I think it's kind of breeding a new consumer.
Yeah.
Essentially. And you don't necessarily go to a streaming service because you like what they have on, you like what they produce.
Right.
You're more interested in their in-house stuff. And I think it's kind of similar between like Apple and Spotify because, like you said, the music crossover is ridiculous. You can pretty much pick whichever one you want. It just kind of comes down to interface and like what they produce, like podcast wise.
Right.
You know?
The only reason why I have Apple, there's no limit to the songs you can download.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I have an iPhone. Apple's been known to slow down streaming speeds or sound quality on Spotify.
Sneaky.
It's the most minuscule thing, but it works for me.
It does make a fucking difference.
Yeah.
When the internet's not going fast, I'm like, shit, well, I might as well take a break from my work. It's just a pain in the ass now.
Yeah.
It does make a difference. That's actually interesting too. Like, what do you think's going to happen in the future with like, God, I forget the actual term that this was. It was the thing that we hated a Jeep pie over back in like college. Do you remember that?
It wasn't SOPA.
Was it SOPA?
It wasn't SOPA or PIPA. It was...
It wasn't HIPAA.
Or Ligma.
It wasn't PIPA. But yeah, that like, oh, net neutrality.
Right.
What do you, because that's like still a bill right now, the whole net neutrality thing.
I believe it's being reversed.
They struck it down, right?
Right, yeah.
So I have objectively noticed like issues with upload and download speed on certain sites and trying to stream X, Y, and Z. And I'm very curious if we're all just going to be cool with that forever or there's going to be a little internet uprising, because I really appreciated how things were before net neutrality was struck down.
Well, I think that's the issue, and that's what leads to more piracy.
Yeah.
I really think deep down in my heart, people do want to spend money on music, a movie, or a video game if it's readily available, like the way you and I are, where we say, what do you want to watch? We search it up. Wherever it's available, we'll watch it. If we got to pay a couple bucks, we'll get it. But if it's not available to us, God damn it, I'm going to fucking pirate it. That's how it is.
It just comes down to like,
It's availability to me.
yeah, how much trouble am I willing to go through to watch this?
Yeah.
If it's not super easily accessible, which is like really cool in a certain sense because there's a bunch of streaming platforms and I'm sure they're picking up a bunch of stuff and there's a whole new crop of creators making crazy little shits and I'm booking it to Hulu or selling this off to Netflix. But also it kind of fucking sucks because if you're a creator who's not on streaming, is anybody going out of their way to watch your stuff?
Exactly.
Which
And because
kinda
there's so
sucks.
much on streaming, there's such an overload, it's even harder to get discovered on there.
Literally.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tricky industry to navigate. It's a tricky time we're living in.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully the future's not too tricky.
While we're on this subject, this would be a great time to remind a lot of people that there are great VPNs out there if you want to download some of them.
Period.
Yeah.
So Andy, noodle me this. There's a lot of things that I am incredibly curious about for the future, but I am probably the most curious about future to perhaps distant future fashion predictions. And I want to know what you think you'll be wearing 30, 40 years from now.
I think I'm going to be sticking to the same thing I normally do, just black pants and a white shirt. You know, I'm pretty much just jeans and white shirt kind of guy.
Okay, well then maybe not you, but
What would the look be?
the people.
I think it's so hard to say. Especially something that I'm not that familiar with, being fashion. It's so hard to predict what will actually be practical fashion versus just runway kind of craziness.
Yeah.
I think practically speaking, people will probably have clothing that's a lot more like vetted for the weather, but also like that combination of utility and fashion and style.
Definitely. Based on media you've consumed about the future, do you think we're headed in that direction? Do you think this idea of future that we will arrive at will look similar to how we imagine it, how the
No.
media's portrayed it?
Not at all. I in my personal opinion, when movies predict fashion for the future, not only are they saying this look will never happen now because we have made it.
It's dated.
Yeah. On top of that, I feel like fashion is very different than what they predicted it as because I'm seeing logos and brands are everywhere. It's no longer, it's a subtle thing. I think the more logos all over clothing, the better. And that's just the trend now.
Yeah.
You know, just big logos. And I feel like that will probably stick just because of the very corporate world that we live in.
We live in a society.
Yeah, I feel like just logos and branding will be bigger than ever probably.
Work, for sure. I don't know. Is there anything you remember seeing at all, not just for fashion, but like the future in general, where you were like, shit, y'all might be right about this?
Never fashion-wise, but I think the most practical thing I've ever seen in a sci-fi movie
Yeah.
that I thought, how do we not have that yet, is in Blade Runner they had umbrellas where the pole that you hold it by just lights up.
Cute.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's pretty dope to just be like,
Aw.
hey, it's dark, but you can still see it's illuminating.
You're like, shit, that's kind of smart.
Yeah, and they also had, like, they had transparent clothing, which is pretty neat.
That's fun. And honestly, like, transparent is like having a moment.
Yeah.
Definitely having a moment. It's had moments before. This is not our first time dealing with transparent, but honestly, I really dig, and I know this is fueled by like absolute horrible, terrible tragedies, but I really love the transparent bag rule at like every single stadium now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nifty.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And also, I feel safer.
I feel safer knowing I can see what other people have. And also I know when my stuff is missing just by glancing at my bag.
Yeah. It's very, very convenient, and I very much like it. And that was kind of like a, ooh, future, everything's clear. Whoa. But here we are. And it's like, oh, hey, I get it now. That's fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting on hoverboards and floating cars, though.
But we had hoverboards.
Did we?
Remember those ones that you can stand on with the wheels?
Oh, those did not hover.
They called them hoverboards.
Oh, true.
That
I
was so
guess.
stupid.
I don't know. That was not a big ego boost for my balance in my balancing skills.
Did you do it?
I desperately tried. I stayed up on that that little thing for maybe 10, 15 seconds, and then I had to get off. Not doing it.
Yeah.
What is it called? It's basically like those hoverboards, but with like little handles.
Segway.
Yeah.
Speaking
they figured
of
it out.
segues-
Oh. What's your segue?
No, I'm kidding.
No, speaking of segues, I think we were absolutely fine with the Segway. We didn't need to take the handle off. We didn't need the hoverboard. We were fine with the Segway.
Yeah, I think the Segway was great.
Absolutely.
Speaking of segues,
Speaking
I
of
have a
Segway.
question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think the future of filmmaking will be? And I want to preface this by saying I'm seeing nowadays the embrace of a cell phone being used to shoot an entire film. Steven Soderbergh does it all the time because he has his own production company. He keeps it low budget. But on top of that, seeing what people are doing now with cell phone cameras,
Incredible stuff.
people being really creative with them, the cinematography is just different because the cameras are so small. Do you think that will have an impact on film in the next 10 or so years, just whether it be the shot composition or the movement of the camera, or even just like, are people okay with that quality of a camera? You can kind of tell the difference visually.
I don't know. It's kind of a complicated one for me because as much as I would love to believe, like, I do believe that cell phones are definitely a big part of the future of filmmaking. 100%. Cameras on phones have gotten so good, it's ridiculous. And I think that filmmaking will definitely be even more accessible than it was when we grew up. There's going to be platforms for people to put their videos on. There's incredible technology that is in your pocket of your jeans, and you can do whatever you want with it. But also I think it's kind of maybe going to be treated as a divisive thing. I really hope it doesn't come to it, but I can just see a lot of the old heads of the film world putting their little heels in the sand and saying, if you make a film with an iPhone, it is bullshit, and you are bullshit.
But that's the thing, is that we're seeing movies like that. They win awards.
Yeah.
Tangerine, that one that we saw,
So good.
it was shot entirely on multiple iPhones. Like I said, Steven Soderbergh does it. And although you can tell the difference, I think it doesn't take too much away from the overall quality of the story. I think story really helps. And I feel like, I don't know, the way I see it, I think people using their phones to shoot more, it's never going to be a bad thing if your only sacrifice is you can't get the best lenses or zooms on it. But there are ways to fix that. But I think it will help film kind of reach this age of, like, I don't know what to call it. It's almost like a punk rock phase where people are realizing money isn't the real catch. You don't need the biggest budget. You could just pick up your phone and shoot something. And I feel like
make something really cool.
yeah, and I feel like filmmaking needs to have these big like almost jam sessions of just like people collaborating, being like, money isn't the issue. It's just working and just acting on a camera. It's really not that hard to do it. I'm hoping that, you know, there is an embrace with the younger generation, people being like, you don't need a big Ari or fucking Red Dragon. You could just use your fucking phone.
And I definitely think that's the direction we're headed in. Like, so many kids, even on fucking TikTok, like, there are film ass makers on TikTok that make incredible stuff with their phones. And I think it just comes down to how much the established film people in the industry are willing to accept these kids on their phones, because they are incredibly talented. There's incredibly talented stuff, but because filmmaking is now so accessible, everybody can make whatever the fuck they want. So there's going to be a lot more really cool shit, but there's going to be a lot more kind of lazy half-ass, not potentially something that you're looking for filmmaking.
Yeah, and I don't think future Hollywood blockbuster films will be shot on phones. We saw the embrace of film coming back. People say, no, the old stuff is good. So I think when you reach a certain level of budget, you can earn the cameras. You can earn all that big equipment. But I think as far as like independent filmmaking goes, I'm hoping there's a big rise of, like I said, those band sessions, people just being like, let's just make shit and show that we're good and have a good story, and then we can get the budget.
Yeah.
I don't think money should stop independent filmmakers from saying, I just want to make something.
I just worry that it would turn into an old school versus new school, perpetual shitting on each other competition.
To be fair, Martin Scorsese used an iPhone to film one shot in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Hey!
They were missing a shot of the seatbelt light turning on.
Hey, get an insert on your phone, man.
That's what they did.
Love it.
They realized they didn't have it. They went on a plane, got a shot of a light turning on, and
Incredible.
That was it.
There you go. And you know
But
what? I would have never have noticed.
Exactly. You cannot tell. And that proves my point. You know, there isn't going to be too much of a visual discrepancy between being shot on a phone or being shot on film. But you will know the difference, but I don't think it takes away from the overall presentation.
If what you're trying to do with it is interesting enough, it truly won't matter that it's shot on film or not.
Right.
It won't matter. It's nice if you have the choice. Would love to have the choice. But if you don't, I don't think it means you're down and out and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Which is really comforting. Yeah. Young filmmakers of the world, shout out.
Shout out the young filmmakers.
Shout out.
What do you think is going to go on with music?
Music. Future. Honestly, that one I feel you are far more put that eyebrow down.
I'm shaking my head. No. It's subjective. Music's the most like subjective thing out there. What do you think is going to like be the big change in it?
I don't know. I mean, it's really difficult to kind of predict where everything's going. I think it just kind of in the immediate future matters which kind of genre is going to step into the spotlight, because we're in hip hop right now. Hip hop is king.
Trap especially.
Trap is king.
Yeah.
And I'm having a great time. No complaints. It's fun out here. But I think it will definitely depend on the next cool and trendy genre. Like if, I don't know, country had its moment next.
It's kind of having its own little moment.
Girlfriend country is having its own moment.
Well, it's having a resurgence of some kind, you know?
Definitely. And honestly, that's something that's really interesting is how country music has changed in the last like 20-ish years.
It's not even country anymore. It's pretty much pop.
But the country that is still country has tone shifted so violently. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely living for it. It's so interesting. Like I wouldn't consider myself like a fan, but it's just so fun to observe, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like just, you know, with current trends like Lil Nas X putting country hip hop kind of on the map, or just like those kind of beats and those instruments, it's definitely having a rise of some kind, but it's not really country itself. It's just more country sounds are being used in hip hop, or, you know, even back in the 2010s, we had certain bands bringing in the banjo because it was like,
hell yeah, hey,
we're going to do a rock song with banjo solos. Just because it was a vibe, it was a sound, and it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, once again, music has definitely devolved and split into 40 million niches, and I will never know all of them, and they all have their own things going on. But in terms of like popular music, I think it's gonna kind of stay on maybe a roto in terms of like, oh, we're feeling very rock this decade, we're feeling very bubblegum pop this decade, and then the sounds that were used in that kind of music will come to the forefront, and people will expand upon it. People will make cool new sounds for this type of music. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really say I can make a good solid guess on what it's going to sound like. I hope it sounds like lasers and spaceships and
you
stuff.
You think it's just like 10 minutes of like a high-pitched 8K note?
Fuck it. If that's on the radio, that's bomb. That's punk rock. I won't listen to it.
If I walked into my child's room and they just had like a high-pitched noise playing, they're like, you wouldn't get it. I'd be proud of them.
God bless you.
I'd be proud of them.
You know what? I don't get it. Have fun.
I was 14 listening to Burzum, and I was like, you guys wouldn't get this. So it's just one of those where it's like, maybe I don't, but it's cool that you do.
Yeah. Oh my God. What if like classical music has its moment in the sun in the future?
Well, that's what I think is super cool about like music nowadays, is that with Spotify or Apple, you have so much access to great music from the past.
Definitely.
You really could just find your niche. Your niche could be 60s doo-wop. You have an entire, you know, archive of some of the best stuff, and that could just be your thing. So you could have people that are really into, I don't know, even opera or jazz or country, like you said. So
what was that guy's name? Andre Bocelli or something? He had that beautiful voice.
The opera singer?
Yeah. Yeah, that guy. I don't know. Like, he was a big deal back in the late 2000s, 2010s. He was a huge deal.
Can't say I know much about opera.
Oh, you missed out. He was wild. I can't say I know much about opera either, but
okay.
I would be excited to see opera taking on pop music. That would be fucking wild, dude.
Even just like that kind of vocalization, just really like low, high pitched singing.
Put a little fucking 808 under it.
Hell yeah.
Get into it, bitch. I love that.
Do you think rock is going to come back?
Yeah. Come on now. If the When We Were Young festival was any indication, I think it is.
Well, I think that's a nostalgic take on it.
Definitely.
Do you think rock will make it back to radio or just mainstream pop, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly, if you had asked me this question maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, I would be a lot more confident. But just listening to like current really popular artists, rock is definitely influencing a little bit more than I remember it was. Like Lil Peep was a big deal, bro. R.I.P. And he was very like trap Nirvana, which was super fucking interesting. And I got a lot of that same energy from like these other trap artists that would include like really just grungy ass guitar riffs, and that's fucking cool. I think it's just kind of stagnated on that, where like rock and hip hop have combined, and we haven't really gone back to rock so much traditionally so as we are going back to like pop punk and like emo music. Like not to put MGK's emo girl on blast, but that's where we are right now, and we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, I hate to say it because obviously rock is still being made. Mm-hmm. Those instruments are still being used in that way, but I feel like rock it needs to go away. I think it needs to disappear for a bit and rethink itself.
Yeah.
Because there are bands with their own sound, their own form of different genres of rock, psychedelic, metal, things like that. But I think rock as a whole, the way we should perceive it, needs to just rethink what it is, and come back with a whole new identity. Because we did have like grunge came out, and it pretty much like changed the entire sound, the idea of what an instrument sounds like in the 90s, how to play guitar in the 90s or how to drum. And I think I'd like to see that happen, you know, maybe not soon, but eventually. I think it would be nice to see more hardcore music topping charts, you know, the same way how in the early 2000s we put bands like System of a Down and Linkin Park on the radio. That shit was fucking pretty crazy. Or like Slipknot and Korn. That was crazy to me when you look back, like, damn, that was on the fucking radio.
Yeah, I was listening to Korn to be cool. Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah, and I don't think I can really see the radio or even just the way people consume music. I don't see that kind of charting the way it used to be.
Just because, I don't know, and this might be like, okay, boomer, but like that was a real huge moment. The 90s, the early 2000s. We're in the 2020s now. The kids that are like deciding what's cool and poppin' and fun, their older siblings, their parents potentially are like, oh yeah, no, Green Day's the shit. And they're going to be like, no, that's stupid. That, you're old. I don't listen to that.
Yeah, but like even now I look back at Green Day and like they're fun, but they're still corny as fuck.
Yeah. Like I would lay down my life for Green Day. I have seen Green Day so many times, and I will be the first to say being a huge Green Day fan in public is a kiss of death. That is all it is.
It gets harder the older you get, too.
It gets a little tough. Yeah. I don't know. My money personally is on the keyboard. I think voice modulation and hyperpop and fucking crazy shit like that, that's probably going to be the next maybe 5 years, and we'll see what's next.
Yeah, I think it's bringing back this the blaring party kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
But it's flipping it on its head, you know?
I love that indie sleaze is coming back so much. I'm living. It's incredible.
Okay. What, like, who you listening to? What's making you excited?
Oh, I mean, like, honestly, Vaughn. Big shout out to Vaughn. Found your song on TikTok, girl. You're incredible.
She's fun.
Please drop everything you have cooking right now. I'm listening to Buzz's single that I don't know their pronouns, but Buzz's single that they're kind of promoting right now on TikTok. Fucking cool. And there's not a lot of music in it. It's just kind of like really fucking awesome voice that has been modulated to hell, just kind of beautiful, layered over top each other, and that sounds crazy. Rosalia, Saoko bitch, I can't get that out of my head. That is an incredible song, and that's like reggaeton, but she's just turned it up to 15 and completely pissed on the structure of a song.
Hell yeah.
And it's so cool. And I don't know, I think just kind of really playing with structure is gonna be cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't think rock will come back in the way of like guitar solos will sound a little different, but I think like you said, it's gonna be the structure of it, and I think just the way we think of a guitar and how it should be used is gonna be really, really different.
Because I'll hear like a gnarly guitar riff and I'll be like, nice, sick, can't wait to bang my head, but I'll hear some like crazy ass screeching sounds that have been layered over top of each other and a giant ass bass, and I'll be like, whoa.
Yeah, sometimes it just works.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying that, and I feel like a lot of other people are.
Yeah.
Can't seem to say I know what's after that, though, but that's where I see it going in the near future.
What about art in general?
Art.
Dude, what do you think will be like the big trend?
I don't know.
Honestly, before I even like give you a chance to think about that, the more I think about it, I couldn't even tell you what is the trend in art right now.
Call me a cynic. I don't like to get negative, but I don't know. I think this whole I don't want to call it the Yassification of art, but the capitalization of digital art is just so boring and such a bummer.
And sad.
I don't love it, and I don't know. And I have absolutely no say in this. People are doing it. It doesn't matter. The world will keep turning. But can we please get over NFTs? Can we please? I don't understand it. Call me old. I don't seek to understand it. I think there's obviously some really awesome art that's being produced for NFTs, and people are getting original copies, and oh my gosh, this is so cool. It's a beautiful piece. But in that same breath, the fucking avatar shit, the Bored Ape, the stuff that took somebody maybe a week to draw a bunch of different variants of, and then it compiles everything together. Oh my god, it's a unique avatar. Like, that's fun. That's like putting quarters into a vending machine and getting a little something out of it. Like, oh, it's so special. But I don't know. I don't see the need to make digital art and then have someone say, yeah, no, I own this because I own the blockchain. It's art. Who gives a shit? Who cares?
The way I see it, it's like if you are a multi-bazillionaire, are you going to print out a picture of the Mona Lisa, or are you just going to fucking buy it? If you have the money and you're stupid enough, fucking go for it. I feel like NFTs, like my big issue with it is that it's just such low effort.
Yeah.
You know, the quality of the art is just so lame and so depressing when I feel like, wow, the artist is making big bank, but who's the fucking artist?
I definitely agree with you. Like, there's so much low effort NFT art out there, but I know people feel the exact same way about like impressionistic art and abstract art. They're just like, oh, you're throwing paint on a canvas. That's stupid. I don't get it. And they have every right to not get it. It's not to be got by everybody. But I think what the whole NFT crypto boom is doing to art is just kind of taking the like, hey, do you like this out of it, and kind of making you play the investment game with like, oh, what would probably turn me the most profit in 10 years? I don't give a shit what it looks like, but what's going to have a good financial future for me?
Yeah, and I think that's my big issue with it, is that it doesn't seem like it's for the sake of art, it's for the sake of investment.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could argue, if
art
you are
is an
buying art,
investment.
yeah, if you're buying art, you're doing it for an investment with the intent of possibly reselling it.
Yeah, maybe.
But I just feel like at the very least, with other trends of art, I could argue there's an artfulness to it. It could be someone covering themselves in paint and running into a canvas. If it affects you emotionally, if it moves you, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to NFTs, there's this feeling of like a scam going on.
There's so much pressure. Like, there's only 10 of these. You have to own one of the copies.
Well, not even that, because I'm all for exclusive copies of anything. I think it's just like seeing these rappers promote them so much.
True.
And seeing like the prices are very, like, they're very open about like, I paid this much for that one. I feel like there's got to be a third party or something kind of, you know, playing puppet master or moving the strings in some way, because it seems like there was a direction of like a lot of hype around it that was very generated and very artificial.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, it seemed like an absolute complete luck of the draw for me. Like, oh, for some reasons that are not to be understood, this is the NFT that is the cool NFT. And it won't be the cool NFT in a year, but it's the cool one right now, so you need it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand it, and there's obviously so much more I have left to learn. And I could be missing out on something that's very cool and very original, but as of right now, I'm stepping on my little cynical soapbox and I'm saying, I don't think this is correct.
Yeah, and I think there's a really cool opportunity for other artists who are established to use it. It could be something as simple as, you know, a filmmaker saying, I made an original movie or a short. It's an NFT. you can own the original file, and maybe even if you choose to share it, you could. Or you could be the only one with it. Offer starts at $5,000, or, you know, bid starts at $5,000. That's one way to approach it, where you have the exclusive angle of it being interesting rather than mass produced and randomized. You could have a band saying, hey, we released an album, there's only one copy as an NFT, all the money goes toward charity, or fuck it, we'll take all the fucking money. I'm okay with that because there's a feeling of like there's a finished product in mind, and the hype isn't based on algorithms or augmentation or Twitter hype. It's an artist that you're aware of getting their due online in a new way.
And it's just another way for you to like support him.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Yeah, I guess I'm just old on this one. You know, I get paying for physical art. I don't get paying for code.
Yeah. And the fact that like these NFT owners get upset when you screenshot their work.
Who cares?
After they post it online and brag about it.
Yeah.
You are the joke. You are the joke at that point.
Oh God, I'm outraged. The consequences of my own actions.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
It's a little silly. Yeah. Why make everything so exclusive? Why not just put our art online because you want to put art online?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't create for the sake of money. I create for output.
Yeah.
I like to just have something out there.
You know? And for me, I don't even want to share my art with anybody.
Yeah.
It's just for me to sit down and have fun by myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of, guys, we're now on YouTube and Spotify.
Hey, yes. Speaking of, check us out on every single platform available. And if, I don't know, you ask nicely, we can make an NFT and you can have an NFT of this podcast.
We are everywhere. Check us out. But yeah, like I was saying, I don't care about people seeing my art and the things that I create, you know?
Yeah. I don't give a fuck. No. Yeah. I mean, I'm on 8 different platforms, but I don't actually care what people think about me.
Yeah, I just, you know... I just want to get my work seen, but not seen, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. This is total side tangent, but the podcast mission statement is not to blow up and sell a bunch of shit. I don't know. I just like sitting on this couch, and it's funny that it's on the internet, and I don't know, somewhere out there, someone is listening to me burp into this microphone.
Yeah, no, some people make, you know, art for the sake of entertainment for others. I don't know why we're making this other than, wouldn't it be neat if we had a podcast?
This is funny. Yeah. I'm having fun.
No, this is a great time.
I'm having fun.
If you're listening to this and you're not one of us, thank you for listening. But also,
What's up?
How'd you find us? How you doing, man?
How are
Hit
you?
us up. Leave a comment. That'd be super dope to reach out to somebody like across the world. But I'm not in it for that. Like you said, if we get big, I don't want to make merch. I don't want to fucking sell out.
Wow, girl, I'm not worried about getting big at all.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that was never the goal.
No,
you know,
definitely.
I kind of just want to spend time with you.
Hi, what are we doing?
We're talking about the future.
Welcome
to the show. Welcome to Bottom Text, episode 4.
Welcome to Bottom Text. This is our. I won't do it. This is our 4th rodeo.
She actually did it.
Cut that out. Cut that. This is a note for post. Cut out the terrible jokes. So, I don't know. I guess I'm probably going to have like 2 minutes of speaking time on this podcast. That's it for me, folks. That's it. That's all I have to say. LMAO.
So aside from like the aesthetics and the media of the future, what do you think is going to be like, you know, historically, what do you think is going to happen? Anything big in the future that you can predict?
Well...
And given that, you know, Russia has now invaded Ukraine for about a week now.
We don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Could be interesting.
I hope it's good things. I hope, I don't know. I'd really like to believe in world peace and all the children of the world coming together, joining hands and singing songs of love and friendship. I would love that. I would love to see that. It honestly, how I see the future going really depends on what the fuck we are doing right now. And judging by, I don't know, the massive sweeping climate change bills that have been passed, that have not been passed, I don't know, we might just be underwater in 3000.
Maybe the Jonas Brothers were right.
Maybe the Jonas Brothers were right.
Well, you know what? That's a great way to wrap up today's episode.
Maybe the Jonas Brothers were right.
I have one last question for you.
Yeah?
Where do you see yourself in the future?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In the future, I see myself with still my face. I think maybe I will have shorter hair because that is a goal of mine. And then I would also love to have like 1 or 2 robotic limbs of my choosing. It does not have to be from a traumatic backstory, and I would not have to have gone through something very painful to get them, but it will be accessible and I will have robot arms.
You want both your arms?
I feel like an arm and a leg would be really handy.
You see, I feel like that's quite the opposite.
Yeah?
Because you have one superpowered leg and one superpowered arm. Yeah, you can punch and probably kick super fast.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't, like, run really fast.
I don't need... What am I going to be running from? I'm going to be teleporting everywhere.
I feel like if I had, like, the opportunity, I'd either have 2 robot legs so I can, like, be super fast or something.
Yeah. Or
2 robot hands or arms. So, like, one can, like, draw while the other one's cooking dinner or something.
That is fresh. I don't know. That seems very all eggs in one basket for me. I'd like to divvy it up.
Well, I do like eggs and baskets, actually.
And I do like divvy.
Holy shit, that was bad. What is wrong with us?
I'm laughing. I don't know. I've been mulling over this, but what do you predict the workforce will be like in the future, especially after going through something as fucking hectic as COVID?
Oh, wow.
What do you think a job's going to look like in the future?
It's kind of interesting, actually, because I feel like COVID as a test and experiment kind of failed. We had a society that failed to begin with, or was failing. COVID exposed the cracks in it.
Yeah.
And our goal is to now go back to that society.
That was objectively not working.
Yeah. And I feel like the workforce was probably the biggest thing to change, to be honest. I think a lot of people realized, wow, we can work from home while companies are making record profits.
Yeah.
You know? So...
like, oh, my franchise needs me to come in, but they're paying me less than minimum wage. I don't fucking have to. This is bullshit.
Yeah. And I think just the way things are going right now, I could see people, I guess, regularly just being like, it'll be more normalized to work from home, and people might even just freelance multiple jobs they can do from home, especially with the workforce kind of the anti-work movement going on right now. I think people will probably just realize, okay, this company's not going to give me benefits, but if I have like 3 jobs and working part-time and they're all from home in my own time, it might work out. And I think there might be an embrace of that, or some kind of shift toward that direction.
Definitely.
Only because it did show it was efficient.
Yeah. Like, people are just out here making their own jobs.
I mean, my whole job, we shifted an entire broadcast, like tech and equipment and everything. When we found out how to work our jobs from home, they actually wrote articles about my team. I'm really proud about us.
We know, girl. Little clout. We love you.
No, I'm really proud for us. And I don't know. It's impressive to me that we're able to do that. And it just blows my mind that, like, companies are now telling people, come back to work. It's a cultural thing. It's like, no.
I don't fucking want to.
Yeah, this isn't part of my culture. Fuck off.
I hate it here. Yeah. I think it will be a good thing in the long run, because people will realize that the quote unquote insignificant jobs that they're doing are actually really fucking important, and they deserve to be treated better, and they don't have to be pushed around and offered less than a livable wage.
Yeah.
Because they need a job.
And I think going off that, as you put it, more insignificant jobs, little tasks, those will probably be automated.
Yeah.
So there will be more of a reliance on bigger duties for an entry-level job, which may ask for higher pay or something. So there could be some ups and downs. I'm really curious to see which direction it leans toward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love that freelance culture is running rampant right now. Like, be your own boss. I mean, don't join like a multi-level marketing scheme, but be your own boss, girl. Do your thing. If you fucking hate your corporate overlords, tell them to go fuck themselves and find one of a million options that work better for you.
When in doubt, just remember, your job does not care about you.
No.
They don't.
Period.
I'm just going to say it.
Period.
I'll just throw it out there.
Your job should not be ruining your life.
But you should also enjoy what you do. If you have the opportunity to enjoy your job, take it. But on top of that, we should also mention just the way the economy is right now and the way the world is right now. Some people do need to work multiple jobs.
Yeah.
And this isn't, totally positive. There are issues with the workforce, and there's reasons why people are asking for more, and there's work strikes going on. And I'm all for it.
Definitely.
But if you are that person struggling, I feel for you. We've all had that shitty fucking grind, that really bad schedule, or the multiple jobs. It's a really rough time, but you know what? Know your worth.
Know your worth. You do not owe anything to a corporation. Not a thing.
Yeah.
Not a fucking thing. So, young Andrew, where do you see yourself in the future?
Hopefully in the future, I'll be on this couch doing more episodes with you.
Aww.
Thank you for joining us on this lovely episode.
You stinker. That was good.
We will see you next time.
See you later.
Thank you for joining us.
See you in the future.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, bye.